Hello and welcome to this edition of Hardman Talks. My name is Keith Hiscock. I'm the CEO of Hardman Co, and I'm joined today by Yingheng Chen. Ying is one of our very experienced analysts and specialises in the agri sector. She's just published a note entitled Feeding the Future. Great to have you here today, Ying.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Okay, so let's get straight into the first question, which is, there isn't as much excitement around agriculture as there is, for example, around AI. Why should investors care about agri?
Thanks for the question, Keith. It's true, agriculture doesn't get the headlines that AI does, but AI won't feed 8 billion people. Agriculture will, and it has to do so under climate pressure, resource constraint, and rising global demand. That makes it fundamental and far from boring, I think. We're talking about a rising middle-class population that's growing from 4 billion to 5 billion people over the next 10 years. Diets are shifting towards protein, nutrient-dense food, and climate volatility is already, reshaping the whole production risk spectrum. To satisfy all these needs, it required long-term investment, not just in farmland, but also in cold chain logistics, water efficiency, supply chain, traceability, and scalable agtech. We're seeing real money move here. We see blended finance platform increasing in emerging markets and private credit activity accelerating where the typical banks are holding back. So while agriculture may not be trending like AI, it underpins economic stability. Ultimately, AI may change the way we work, but investment in the food ecosystem will shape how we live.
Oh, I quite like that. Let's move on to the second question. So, how's capital being allocated across the food system today? And what does that tell us about investor priorities?
We have way past the hype cycle at this stage. Capital deployment is now more disciplined and focused on the real economic outcomes. We see capital flows into the support mechanism, such as logistic networks, cold chain capacity, storage, and processing. These areas have relatively clearer revenue models and plays a direct role in addressing food waste and supply chain reliability. We also see meaningful investment in regenerative and biological inputs and water efficiency technologies, especially where the technologies are already proven at scale as opposed to just a novel concept. We're also seeing a broadening of capital base. Alongside venture capital, we see that private credit and blended finance vehicles are also entering into the space. So overall, the capital flows indicate a market that is prioritizing resilience, operational efficiency, regulatory alignment, and climate risk mitigation.
Which areas within the food system transition appear to be attracting the most strategic capital and industry momentum for the next decade?
Thanks. I think it will probably be in enabling infrastructure and technologies, ones that can help improving how we produce, move, and store food. Cold chain logistics are a key area where, as diet requirements change globally, reliable temperature control storage becomes critical for protein, dairy, and fresh produce supply. One example is Lineage, which listed in 2024 on NASDAQ. It was one of the largest logistic IPO in the world, reflecting, institutional appetite for large-scale cold storage platforms. We also see activity in active capacity expansion on temperature control warehouse across the globe. These assets often benefit from contracted revenue profiles and rising demand visibility. We see a growth in precision farming and water management technologies, smarter irrigation, biological input, and soil health tech that increase yields and reduce environmental pressure. Lastly, it's food loss and traceability technologies, from processing optimization to packaging tracking. None of these are new disruptive technologies, but are scalable upgrades that are already there and is upgrading to the core ecosystem.
Thank you. How important is blended finance, a term you mentioned, alongside private credit in the space?
It's increasingly central. Emerging markets are critical to the global food supply, but the financing gaps remain significant. Public budget and local banks alone can't fund all these. Cold chain expansion, irrigation upgrade, processing, or SME working capital. This is where blended finance plays a catalytic role. MDBs and DFIs are providing first loss capital guarantees.
Could you just explain those terms, MDBs and DFIs?
It's multilateral development banks and DFIs, development finance institutions.
Thank you.
Providing first loss capital guarantees, political risk, covering and technical assistance to crowd in institutional money as well. So last year alone, MDBs mobilized over $130 billion in private capitals for climate-aligned projects globally. Private credit vehicles are also stepping in by offering longer tenure, flexible financing solutions that match closer agriculture and infrastructure cycles. So these structures are no longer just peripherals. They have become quite essential components for the whole funding infrastructure.
Ying, thank you for your time. You can view Ying's paper for free on our website, hardmanco.com. As always, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and join in the conversation wherever you're watching. We'll see you next time.